Using the central business district of Kumasi during peak hours of the day can be a daunting task. One is more likely to spend more hours in traffic for trips that ordinarily should have taken few minutes. With many people competing for spaces, the human traffic can at times be unbearable. This situation goes beyond the central business district of Kumasi itself, as the case is similar in many other areas within the greater Kumasi metropolitan area. Authorities have thus developed what they call the Sustainable Urban Mobility Plan to help tackle the issue. Williams Aka is the head of Transportation Engineering Division at CSIR.
And the idea is to come up with a plan which will meet our needs, our transport needs, which means to be able to travel safely, affordable, comfortable, without impacting negatively on future generations. So that is what we did. We've gone through different stages, data collection stages where we did household surveys, we've done traffic data collections, we've come up with analysis of the problem. We also done a lot of consultation. We've visited all the 16 MMDAs. We've also had stakeholder consultations with all relevant stakeholders, and we've come up with a solution. We came up with two proposals. The first one is more focused on public transportation, and that's where we're talking about the bus rapid transits. And we did a multi-criteria analysis, and we identified that it has a huge potential. The second proposal is focused on infrastructure, that is improving on our infrastructure and non-motorized transport system. Yeah, this also has its own pros and cons. So after the multi-criteria analysis, we've done a presentation first to the technical committee, which is the technical people with the assemblies, and then the other agencies.
The Ashanti Regional Minister, Samuel Semensa, is hopeful the initiative, expected to be financed by the African Development Bank, will significantly help address the challenge.
We realize that most of the public vehicles we have are small capacity vehicles. For instance, if you take the trotro, the maximum that they can take is about 20 people. Meanwhile, if we have a bus that can take about 60 people, that means that if you bring one large capacity bus, it's taking off about 3 vehicles off the road and minimizing the number of vehicles you have on the road at a particular time. But because before you can do this, it will also mean that you need some development on the route itself. You may have to create parking lots at the side of the roads where these long buses or big buses can park for people to board or to alight. Besides that, you need even car park, maybe at the outskirts or the peripheries of most of these assemblies, so that people can even park their car at these parking spaces and then use the large capacity buses and come to town.
He, however, wants the initiative to be integrated with other projects aimed at tackling mobility in Greater Kumasi to avoid overlapping of responsibilities.
Other projects also going on which are also tackling mobility, like the bus rapid transport system. All those ones are ongoing. We have the CUMP also ongoing. That is why I was saying that I think it's necessary for us to integrate all these transport projects that are going on in Greater Kumasi, so to avoid overlapping and then maybe waste of resources. Where we realize that we have one project tackling a certain area which is under another project, we can make them and save some resources, maybe for the widening of the routes and other aspects. So it's a very good project. We are praying that everything will come out successfully. If you listen to the objectives that they set, one of them is education. That is education of the general public. If you educate the general public for them to understand the operations of the project, if they buy into it, it will make things very easy.
For the Agence Française Développement, AFD, the initiative is a sustainable one which will help tackle the mobility issues.
I think that the transport service is going to be more and more important, and the way that the transport demand is growing is not sustainable. So that's why we think that on AFD, so Agence Française de Développement, we think that it's very key to have a sustainable urban mobility plan to help to address all the transport issues, the traffic, the parking also, and to bring them more sustainable. Yes, I think that the enforcement is mainly not the best situation when it comes to implement the transport project. But the key, I think the most important thing is to have a very inclusive approach.
With a strong strategy, stakeholders are hopeful of significantly reducing challenges associated with urban mobility within the Ashanti region. For Citi News, I'm Edward Obonbafo, Kumasi.